Okay, so I'd like to say hello, beautiful business-minded people in Zoom at saka sa Facebook. No? May nagsasabi, no, sabi nila, gusto ko ng business pero hindi ko alam kung ano yung passion ko. Meron din naman mga nagsasabi na, hindi ko alam kung tama ba itong ginagawa ko, Mami En. Pakiramdam ko, hindi ako masaya sa negosyo ko. Yung mga ganon. No? So I'm wondering, how many times have you told yourself these things? And how many times have you struggled to find joy in your business? But what if the key to growing your business is not about strategy and marketing na akala ng karamihan sa ating lahat? No? What if the key to growing your business is about aligning it with what truly matters to you? Alright? So, welcome po sa ating Facebook Live, and today we have another episode of our very special na Meet My Mentor series. I'm so excited to have you all here today. So, I'd like to say hello to everyone. Hello sa mga taga-Zoom at hello din sa mga nasa Facebook Live and sa mga team replay, syempre. Ako po si Mami Negosyo, but like my coaching clients, my students, and my mentees, tawagin nyo lang po ako ng Mami En for short. Ako po ay isang retired na business owner ng maraming mga businesses na yung iba nag-succeed, yung iba rin naman nag-fail. But syempre, mas okay yung mga nag-succeed, di ba? Among those that succeeded were our Chowking franchise. For 18 long years po kaming naging franchisee. Sa aming STI College po sa Zamboanga City, we were a licensee for 28 years. Owner din po kami ng computer repair shops, pension houses, broadband installation, mga ganon, and mga jewelry stores. And ngayon na retired na po ako, naipasa ko na po, with the grace of God, naipasa ko po yung mga businesses namin sa aming anak. And I am now an author, an online business mentor, a coach, a speaker, a course, and content creator. Dahil ang mission ko po ay to help and to guide Filipino business owners to grow their businesses easier and faster. Dahil this is now March, it is the Women's Month, I'd like to help women business owners even more. Kaya po tayo merong mga free videos at mga programs na tulad nito, no? Alam niyo po, what really makes me happy is to share with you all the lessons that I have learned. Yung mga failures at saka yung mga successes ko na yung mga natutunan ko po sa aking 40 plus years as a businesswoman. Para hindi nyo napagdaanan yung mga aking mga pagkakamali, mga pain, the tears, and the hardships that I went through so that you can be successful easier and faster. Alam nyo, balde-balde po ng luhang iniiyak ko, kaya sana by sharing these lessons, hindi nyo na ito pagdaanan, di ba? So that if you want first dibs sa mga lessons na to, no, why don't you subscribe to our free newsletter and free starter kit? Yan, yung starter kit po natin ay libre lang para dun sa gustong mag-umpisa ng negosyo at saka dun sa may mga negosyo na at gusto nilang palakihin yung kanilang businesses. Kaya alam ko na gusto ninyong matutunan ang mga lessons na to, and therefore sign up po sa maminegosyo.com para marami tayong mga libreng mga freebies dyan, no? So, lots of freebies at maminegosyo.com. So, ngayon, this afternoon, we're talking about something that I believe is at the heart of every successful business. Yung pag-build ng negosyo na talagang gustong-gusto natin, no? A business that aligns with our values and what matters most to us. Maraming mga business owners kasi, no, after a while, they find themselves na napapagod na sila, no? Ang dami nilang ginagawa, pero they are feeling disconnected from their work. No? Sabi nila, they have built businesses that make money, pero hindi naman sila masaya. Bakit kaya? And therefore, I am truly blessed to have someone with us today who has been helping entrepreneurs and professionals align their work with their deeper purpose for many years na, hindi lang ngayon. Siya po ay isa sa aking mga mentors, at kung hindi dahil sa kanya, alam niyo po, I would never have become an author. Siya po ang naging mentor ko sa pagsulat ng aking first book na Grow Your Business Pinoy. And nandito po, I don't know, nandito pala, yon. Medyo malayo-layo, no? And since then, nagkaroon na po ako ng confidence sa magsulat ng one more book. Kaya dalawa na po yung aking libro as of this moment. And next month po ay magkakaroon na ako ng aking pangatlong libro to come out. Alright. So alam nyo po, siya rin po ang aking naging mentor who inspired me to speak in public. No? Kahit na teacher po ako, syempre kaya ko lang yung mga 30 people in one room. Pero dahil po sa kanya, I was able to talk to an audience of 1,000 people in the Take Off Summit just last month. Kaya ngayong nandito siya, ay medyo tongue-tied, medyo starstruck pa rin ako after so many years. And I'm very, very grateful na pumayag siyang maging guest natin. No, dahil since then, alam nyo, since naging mentor ko siya, naging global speaker na siya. And she speaks not only in the Philippines, but also sa Europe, sa Americas, at maraming places sa Asia. Nakakatuwa din po na marami na siyang namomotivate, especially as she talks now, not only about book writing, not only about public speaking, but also about how to handle our money, and now, how to be joyful and how to be happy. Kaya, without further ado, allow me to welcome my mentor, Miss Sha Nasino. Yan.
Thank you, Mami En. And thank you po sa lahat ng mga nandito na nakikinig. Napaka-humble ni Mami En. Actually, she's very successful, especially sa business. And what I appreciate about her is that she's very humble to learn. So maraming salamat po for inviting me, Mami En. Nasa Boracay po ako ngayon and it's such an honor to be with all of you this afternoon.
Yan. Actually, Miss Sha, the honor is all ours. Thank you so much for being with us. Nabubulol-bulol talaga ako dahil ito ko yung kausap ko. Okay, Miss Sha, bibilisan ko. Number 1 question, Miss Sha. Yung journey ninyo from corporate, nag-umpisa kayo sa corporate, tapos naging entrepreneur kayo, napaka-inspiring para sa akin yon, no? Marami sa ating mga viewers, I'm sure, will be inspired. Dahil nag-umpisa rin sila ng business na, like you, without formal business education. So, anong mindset shifts ang nakatulong sa inyo to build confidence sa inyong bagong path?
Okay, so meron po ako mga very important questions na tinanong sa sarili ko before ako nag-quit ng job ko and mag-pursue ng entrepreneurship. So isa dun is, what do I do best? So tinanong ko, itong job ko ba na to, is this what I do best? The answer was no. Is this what I love doing? The answer was no. So kaya po, nung alam ko, okay, hindi ito yung gusto kong gawin, hindi rin ito yung saan ako pinakamagaling. Tapos tinanong ko yung sarili ko, pangatlong tanong is, ito ba yung pwede kong gawin na pinaka makakapag-glorify kay God? And the answer was no as well. So I knew na hindi ako pang corporate. And merong very famous quote, Saint Irenaeus, the glory of God is man fully alive. So I wasn't fully alive at work before. Although, you would say na ginawa ko talaga lahat ng best ko para makapag-produce ng excellent results sa work. And kasi very important din sa akin that whatever you work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for men. So, nakuha ko yun sa mama ko. So, even if I didn't like my work, ginawa ko pa rin yung best na kung halimbawa ako ay empleyado ko, paano ko kaya gagawin yung work ko? So, kahit hindi ako nakikita ng boss ko, ginagawa ko na maayos yung work ko kahit ayoko siya. Ayoko yung work, hindi ako nag-enjoy. And mabibilang mo lang sa dalawang kamay ko kung ilan yung lates ko in 9 years na nag-work ako dun sa company. Meaning, very important sa akin yung pagiging on time. Very important sa akin na mahalin ko yung trabaho ko kahit di siya masaya for me. So eventually, nung na-realize ko na wait lang siya, hindi ito yung best mo, hindi ito yung pinakamagaling ka, hindi ito yung na-enjoy mo, hindi ito yung makakapag-glorify kay God. So, hanapin mo saan yung pinakamagaling ka, saan yung na-enjoy mo, tsaka pinakamakakapag-glorify kay God. So, it took me years to discover what that was. Tapos nung na-discover ko na sobrang freeing niya. Kasi kahit nasa work pa ako, kahit nagtatrabaho pa ako, nung alam ko na writing and speaking, yun pala yung gusto ko talagang gawin. Tapos eventually, gusto ko magsulat ng mga libro and then magbigay ng talks, ganun. So even if nasa work ako sa corporate, sa bangko, and totally unrelated siya sa gusto ko, yung ginagawa ko mismo sa bangko, nagkakaroon ng meaning. Kasi naturuan ako ma-build yung character ko. Naturuan ako na mas ma-intensify pa yung values ko. So yun po. So yun yung mindset. Very important to really know what you do best, what you love doing, and what would glorify God more. And then once you find it, then fight for your dreams. Fight for that particular dream.
Wow, fight for that particular dream, no? So yun yung pick up ko, no? Yung ask yourself really the questions. Most especially, what do I do best? The second one is, what do I enjoy ba? The third one is, what would glorify God? And sometimes, sabi ni Misha, kahit na hindi tayo nag-e-enjoy, we just give our best. And hindi naman masasayang pala, kahit na hindi natin nagustuhan yon, kasi it now becomes something that will build our character, which we will need in the next phase ng ating buhay, no? So walang nasasayang. I love that. Okay, so Misha, no, ang ating audience, they often struggle with work-life balance, okay? Lalo na siguro if you do not like what you're doing, hindi ba? Pero in your case, even if you like what you're doing, I'm sure you still went through the phase na, teka muna, paano kung babalansehin ito? Because you are building your business, no? Naging global speaker kayo, no? Yung transformation na yon. But then at the same time, I really hear about you and read about you taking time to be with your family, with your little brother, going home to the province. So, how were you able to do that? How were you able to balance yung dalawang bagay na yan?
Thank you, Mami. And to be honest, when I was in my 20s and early 30s, sobrang workaholic ko, hustle mode. Kasi at that time, nag-work pa ako sa company and then on the side ko lang ginagawa yung business. So feeling ko parang ang konti ng time, i-maximize ko yung paggamit ng time ko. Later on, natuto ako ng boundaries. So dun ko mas nababalance yung work, mas nagkaroon ako ng work-life balance. So boundaries meaning, sinabi ko sa sarili ko na Monday to Friday lang ako mag-work and then 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sometimes 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pero ang daming breaks in between yun. And then Saturday, Sunday, as much as possible, hindi ako magtatrabaho. And also, since yung line of work ko is very flexible, like, for example, kung gusto kong magsulat ng libro, pwede kong sabihin sa sarili ko, okay, saan mo gusto magsulat ng libro? Dito ba? Sa condo? Or gusto mo magtagaytay? Or Boracay? Or Bali? Saan mo gustong pumunta? Saan mo gustong magsulat ng libro? So, yun, boundaries very important sa akin na may time for work, may time for family, may time for rest, may time for going home to the province, may time for friends as well. Yung family ko, nasa province about 12 to 14 hours away by car. And umuwi ako, tsaka yung kapatid ko and sister-in-law ko, mga 5 to 6 times a year. And we spend about 50 days in a year sa probinsya. So, yun, nababalance naman lahat. So, the key here is to really have boundaries and then i-define mo talaga like ilang oras ko lang gustong mag-work per day and ilang days ko gustong mag-work in a week. Tapos, very important din na pag nagpapahinga ka, hindi ka magigilty. Kasi a lot of times, ito yung problema ng mga achievers and then yung mga workaholics. Pag nagpapahinga sila, tapos hindi sila productive, parang guilty sila. So, importante na hindi ka mag-guilty. Noong February, so just an example, noong February, naging very busy kami sa mga speaking engagements and training for corporate leaders, also coaching. Na nung nagre-review ako ng month ko, sa February 28, nagma-monthly review ako. Sabi ko, ang galing ng Feb pero napagod talaga ako. Tapos tinanong ko yung sarili ko, anong gusto mong gawin in the next few days? Sabi ko, gusto magpahinga sa beach or nature. Tapos tinignan ko yung schedule ko, wala akong in-person engagements for the next 10 days. So right there and then, nag-book ako ng flight to Boracay. So that was Friday night and then Sunday, nasa Boracay na ako. So I'll be here for 9 days and so very grateful lang ako sa ganung flexibility na kung saan mo gustong magtrabaho, pwede ka magtrabaho dun. So itong trip ko sa Boracay, more of rest siya. And workation ang tawag ko dito, work and vacation at the same time. So nagtatrabaho ako, ang kinuha kong room, beachfront talaga na may balcony overlooking the beach. So pagising ko pa lang, naririnig ko na yung waves. And then pagbaba ko, beach na kaagad. So sobrang saya magtrabaho. And napansin ko rin na very productive ako pagka nasa nature ako. So yung productivity ko, siguro naging 5 times more productive or 10 times more productive ako pag nasa nature ako. So even if I spend money going to Boracay, if you take a look at my productivity, mas marami akong very wise decision siya kasi I can do in probably 5 days what I can while in Boracay, what I can do in maybe 10 to 15 days in Manila. Full focus.
Nakakainggit, Misha, no? So I do that, no? Okay. Yeah, ako yung isa doon na hindi marunong mag-set ng boundaries. Walang hinto ang trabaho. And I feel guilty if I rest. So I will remember you. And I love yung workation. Yan, that's a new word for me. Okay, so I will go to my next question. Misha, you have helped so many first-time authors like me to find our voice, no? So para sa mga business owners naman na nagda-doubt sa kanilang mga expertise, kasi sabi nyo, find out what you love and find out what you're good at, di ba? So, ano pong advice ang pwede nyo ibigay for them to open up, to share their story? Kasi ngayon, stories are helping businesses, hindi ba po? Pero marami akong nami-meet na medyo nahihiya, ayaw nilang ikwento yung kanilang mga stories. Ano pong advice ninyo para sa kanila?
So, normal lang po na magkaroon ng self-doubt, but you have to ask yourself the right questions. So, for example, when it comes to writing a book, daming tao nagtatanong ng mga maling tanong sa sarili nila. For example, sabihin nila, ba't ako magsusulat ng libro? Sino ba ako? Sino ba magbabasa ng libro ko? Hindi naman ako magaling sa grammar, ganun. If you take a look at those questions, nakafocus siya dun sa tao, nakafocus sa me, and nakaka-conscious siya. But if you change your question, tanongin mo yung sarili mo, bakit ko gustong gawin to? Ano yung why ko? And ano ba yung gusto kong i-share? Bakit ko siya gustong i-share? Kasi ba meron akong ma-inspire na tao, may matutulungan ako? Anong solutions yung kaya kong i-provide? So, yun. So, if you focus on the right questions, mababawasan yung pagka-self-conscious at mas magiging focus ka dun sa audience, dun sa taong gusto mong ma-serve. And also, the other thing is, natatawa ako kasi nung nagsulat ako ng libro, I was in my early 20s yata nung nagsulat ako ng libro. May kaibigan ako na tinatanong niya ako, sabi niya, "Siya, paano ka nagsulat? Hindi niya ma-form yung question niya." Tapos sabi ko, ang gusto mo bang tanongin paano ako nagkaroon ng kapal na mukha magsulat ng libro? Oh, yun mismo, sabi niya. Yun ang gusto kong tanongin. Ba't parang ang kapal na mukha mo, nagsulat ka ng libro? Tapos tawang-tawa ako sa kanya and I didn't get offended because hindi ako nagsulat ng libro para ma-improve sa ibang tao. Nagsulat ako ng libro dahil meron akong message na very compelling na kailangan kong i-share na alam ko maraming problema yung masasolve niya. So, it didn't matter what other people would say about me. Matatawa lang ako kasi parang maliit na bagay yun for me. Hindi ko na concern yun. Bahala ka na anong gusto mong isipin. Basta ako, ano yung purpose ko for writing a book? It's really to solve people's problems. It's really to inspire people. So focus on your why. Why do you want to do what you want to do? What are the solutions you want to provide? And who will benefit from whatever you will share, from the stories that you will share?
Yan. Thank you for that, no? So again, it's asking the right questions, no? Kasi the keyword there is right. Kasi kung minsan mali-mali yung questions natin. What I'm getting is not to focus on us, on me, but on the others. And then, focus on the message that we want to share. Meron kang binigay sa akin dati na pink pin. I don't know if you still remember that many years ago. On my table, in my work table in Cebu. Kasi that's where I've been working lately. So yun, I would always remember na, sige, kung minsan nagkakaroon din ako ng imposter syndrome, but then sinabi mo, Misha, na right, because you have a message to share. Yan. So I hope everyone would remember that. No? We're focusing on the message. We're focusing on the other person that we want to serve and not on ourselves. And that will make you get out of your comfort zone. Okay, so eto, I was surprised many years ago, no? Tapos kasi you started from teaching us how to write books, tapos how to speak, to do public speaking, and then you started creating global summits na, no? And your success in creating global summits show the power of human connection, no? So, as a small business owner like us, paano ba natin mabibuild ang mga meaningful connections with our audience, no? Especially pag nag-uumpisa pa lang tayo na ang laki-laki nung nagawa ninyo, pero how do we really start to build that connection?
Okay, so very important. Ang ganda po ng tanong. Very important talaga yung meaningful connections because people want to do business with you if they trust you. And how will they trust you if you build a relationship with them? So ang masasabi ko po dito is always focus on how you can serve the other person, on what you can how you can make how can you make life easier for that person. So focus on serving. Naalala ko dati yung guiding principle ko kaya ako nagsulat ng libro and yung mga ginagawa ko ay galing kay Brother Bo Sanchez. Yung sinabi niya na serve first, money will follow. So ako dinagdagan ko lang siya, serve first, have a lot of fun and money will follow. So how do you build meaningful connections? Pag nasa, for example, gathering ka with your friends, instead of asking ano kaya yung makukuha ko dito, ano kaya yung benefit ko dito, ask yourself, ano kayang pwede kong magawa para sa kaibigan ko? And so very important to build those connections and also to be there for your friends. So for example, little things lang. Let's say for example, nasabi ng kaibigan mo na mahilig siya sa mga stars. And then one night, may nakita kang daming stars. Picturean mo, send mo sa kaibigan mo, naalala kita. Ganun. Sobrang laking bagay na nun. I have a mentor and he knew that I'm into hammocks. Mahilig ako sa duyan, hammocks. May duyan sa sala sala ng bahay ko, ng condo ko. And one time, nasa, I think, Scotland siya. Tapos nag-send siya ng picture sa akin ng hammocks. Kasi may nakita siyang store na madaming hammocks. Sinend niya sa akin siya, I remembered you. So for me, maliit na bagay siya. Pero yung mga maliliit na bagay na yun, nag-build siya ng connection. And another is, alimbawa pag nasa area ka, kung nasaan din yung kaibigan mo, pwede mo siya i-message, o pupunta ako sa QC, andyan ka ba? Gusto mo magkita tayo? So I remember, marami ako mga kaibigan na global speakers na pagka nagpupunta sila sa Manila, message nila ako, siya, nandito ako sa Manila, meet tayo for lunch or dinner. May one time na may isa akong kaibigan na speaker from Malaysia, sabi niya, siya, meet tayo sa Makati. Tapos nung time na yun, napilayan ako, so naka-wheelchair ako. Sabi ko, sorry, hindi ako makaka-travel. Sabi niya, kung gusto mo, punta ka na lang dito sa lobby ng condo. Dito na lang tayo mag-meet. So pumunta talaga siya. Makati yung hotel niya. Pumunta siya sa Pasig. And then, bumalik siya sa Makati kasi may meeting siya doon. So, yung mga maliliit na bagay na yun, hindi siya maliit for me. Tinatreasure ko yun. So, yun yung mga ways by which we can build connections with people. Or for example, kung may kliyente ka na, let's say, struggling sila. So, for example, may kliyente ka na struggling sila and then nag-offer ka na, I can do this service for you para mapagaan yung trabaho nyo. And then, pag sinabi lang, oh, yes, pero hindi pa namin kaya. So, if kaya mo, why don't you offer it na, sige, I can offer this service and then pay when you can. Maybe in a few months, pag kaya nyo na. So, yun. So, those are the ways by which you can build meaningful connections or meaningful relationships. Find ways to make life easier for the other person, to serve the other person.
And yeah, talagang make it something that will serve them, no? Para they will, that you can earn their trust, but not talagang sinasadya natin to earn their trust, but really to serve. And
Yes.
try to serve people. It does not have to be big things. Pwedeng little things. That's what I'm learning from you now, no? And I
Yes.
love what you said, no? Serve first, have a lot of fun, and money will follow. Wow. Okay, let me rush to the next question dahil maraming questions dito sa ating chat box. No, so let's first have this next question from me. Marami po sa ating mga viewers na medyo na-overwhelmed sila because they try to do everything. I remember you were talking about your CARE framework, no? Para makapagawa sila ng decisions that will align with their strengths and their values. Can you tell us more about this CARE framework?
Sure po, Mami. And so the CARE framework, it's all about balancing humanity and performance, balancing empathy and accountability. So ginagamit ko po ito especially sa corporate setting and also for businesses kasi nakita ko na merong disconnection between what the employees want or what employees need and what leaders want. So employees, they want to feel safe, seen, appreciated. They want to feel cared for. Yung mga business leaders naman or corporate leaders, they want results. At the end of the day, we want results, productivity, ganun, performance. So actually, same team lang naman sila, going to the same direction, pero magkaiba lang sila ng pinanggagalingan. So nag-create po ako ng way to bridge that gap between what employees need and what leaders want. So gumawa ako ng CARE framework. So CARE stands for connection, appreciation, responsibility, and excellence. So yung connection and appreciation, yun po yung humanity or empathy na side. Yun yung sa side ng employees na they want to feel cared for, safe, seen, appreciated. And then yung responsibility and excellence, yun naman yung sa part ng leaders na they want results. So ito yung performance and accountability. So dun sa CARE framework po, it's very important for the two parties to be aligned. So for example, connection, it's about making people feel safe and seen. Appreciation is really about making people feel that they're valued. And then yung responsibility naman, this means that there is a very high level of trust in the organization and there is no blaming. So meaning, if team members made mistakes, the leader should not call a meeting to say, anong ginawa mo? May ipipin down or something. And I know that this is happening in a lot of companies na pag kami nagkamali, magkakaroon ng meeting para kailangan may managot, kailangan matakot yung mga tao.
Yeah.
So ang nangyayari po kasi pag may blaming culture sa company, yung nagkamali, ang tendency niya is to mellow down yung ginawa niyang masama. Pero if there is no blaming culture in the company, ang nangyayari is pag nag-call ng meeting para pag-usapan yung mali, yung nagkamali, i-share niya lahat ng nagawa niya kasi alam niya na nasa solution phase stage na sila. Excellence naman, it's all about clarity and expectations. So a lot of our stresses come from unmet expectations. And yung expectations na to, kasi hindi clear ano yung expectations. For example, sa business setting or corporate setting, okay, be on time, always be on time. So kung 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. yung work, does being on time mean nasa office ka by 9? Does being on time mean naka-open na yung laptop ready to work? Or does being on time mean, okay, 9 a.m. na nandito na ako sa office, kuha mo na ako ng coffee, tapos mag-start yung work ng 9:30 or 9:15, ganun. So it has to be very clear. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng on time for you? So in my case as a speaker, yung on time for me is that at least 1 hour before ng any speaking engagement ko, ready na. As in, nandun na kami sa venue, ready to talk. Kung may change man na siya, napaaga yung meeting, ready na siya. Ganon. So, yun. It has to be very clear. So, connection, appreciation, responsibility, and excellence.
Yeah, no? So yun yung care framework: connection, appreciation, responsibility, and excellence. And I can see if all the organizations who just practice care, walang problema and everybody will be on the same level, balance, and lahat sila uunlad, di ba? Everybody will be working and moving towards success. And walang mga dramas sa kanilang mga relationships. Okay, so next, you were talking about fearless possibilities as one of the topics, no? Kaya lang, syempre, patindi yung ating fear of failure, no? Lalo na kung we're going towards a business direction that is really very important to us. So how do we overcome yung ganon, yung fear of failure, Misha?
Okay, so fear of failure. Actually, very important to see failure in a different light. So failure is not something bad. The way I see it, failure is a necessary part of success. Pero ang caveat is that you do your best. You always do your best. Vie for excellence. And then if you fail, it's okay because you will learn. So the way I see it, yung failure parang, let's say, ito yung level of success na gusto ko. Pag nag-fail ako, it means that kailangan ko yung lessons from the failure para ma-reach itong level of success. So na-excite ako actually pag nag-fail ako. As long as I did my best. I did my best, tapos na-maximize ko talaga lahat ng pwedeng gawin. The only time that I would regret or I would feel really bad about myself is if I didn't do my best. Kung alam ko na meron pa akong pwedeng i-exert, hindi ko na-exert. Pero kung nagawa ko na lahat, na-exert ko na lahat, and yet nag-fail ako, it's okay. It's a learning experience. There is a lesson that I can learn from this. Of course, masakit kung nag-fail ka because maybe nagkaroon ng foul play or may nandaya sa'yo or may mga nakakainis na tao, ganun. So even if ganun yung nangyari, let's say may nandaya sa'yo or may mga taong nagsabotahe, I would still see it as a blessing in disguise. Ang lagi ko pa rin tatanungin is, I cannot control what other people did. Nag-play lang siya ng role sa buhay ko. May role siya sa buhay ko at ganun, kontrabida yung naging role niya. Pero hindi siya center ng buhay ko. So, may minor role lang siya sa buhay ko para may ituro po sa akin ng lesson. Kasi baka naman ang gusto ni God na success level ko is dito. Ito lang gusto ko. Kailangan ko talaga ng lessons from those failures or from those people para ma-build pa yung capacity ko to reach this level of success. So, ganun ko po siya tinitingnan. So, nobody has the right to pin me down because I don't allow them to. You can do anything you want, and then yes, I will cry, I will get hurt, but at the end of the day, you don't have that much power towards me.
Right. And you're a lot younger than I am. So, when I look back sa buhay ko at 70 years old now, totoo yung sinabi mo. There were so many kontrabida sa buhay ko. Pero now, I look back and I thank them for being kontrabida because kung hindi sila naging kontrabida, hanggang doon lang yung naabot ko. Pero ngayon, napakataas ng naabot ko dahil sa mga kontrabida na yan. No? Not to boast or not to do anything, pero there were so many things that I was able to achieve because of these kontrabidas. Kaya thank God, no? For the kontrabidas.
Yes. Na-unleash pa po nila yung potential.
Right. And now that we're talking about thanking God for it, no? So we're also talking, I also hear you talk a lot about gratitude. So what role has gratitude played sa iyong business journey at paano ito magagamit ng ating mga viewers to build stronger relationships with people in their lives, with people sa kanila kanilang team at even with customers, no?
Yes, sobrang laki po ng role ng gratitude sa buhay ko at sa business ko. I learned about gratitude journaling as early as 2011. So I remember there was this speaker at an event that I attended, and then I gave her a copy of my books. Tapos tinreat niya ako for dinner, tapos nag-order pa siya ng a few more copies of my book. Tapos tinanong ko siya, sabi ko, ano pong sekreto niyo sa success? Kasi very successful siya as a financial advisor. And sabi niya, nag-gratitude journal ako. So that's when I started to write on gratitude journal, and then eventually nag-create ako ng sarili kong gratitude journals. So gratitude, tinitingnan ko po lahat through the lens of gratitude. Let's say nag-fail ako, tinitingnan ko, okay, ano kayang blessing behind this? Ano kayang surprise gift behind this? Ganon. What can I be grateful for? Let's say na-delay yung flight ko, okay, what can I be grateful for? So tinitingnan ko lahat siya through the lens of gratitude. Or let's say for example, especially nung mga early days ko as an author, early years ko as an author. So I was also scammed, I was duped, ganon. Pera, and then yung mga pinagkatiwalaan ko. So yun nang gagalaiti ka sa galit. But then I would still ask myself, okay, what's the blessing behind this? What's the lesson behind this? Yung isang naituro sa akin ng mentor ko is that everything is always working out for your highest good. Yes. So kahit di mo maintindihan bakit nangyari to, isipin ko pa rin, okay, something good will come out of this. Not just any good, but highest good. And everything is always for your highest good. So kung titingnan niyo lahat ng bagay through the lens of gratitude, nakiking very exciting yung life. Kahit na madaming failures, madaming problema, madaming mga challenges, exciting pa rin siya. Kasi lagi mong titingnan, may blessing behind this. Merong growth behind this. So learn as much as you can. And also the reason why I get invited to speak in a lot of companies these days is because of gratitude as well. So yung online summits na ginawa namin, HR Summit Global and World Gratitude Summit, ginawa namin siya out of gratitude sa mga taong nag-hire sa akin na mag-speak before. So HR Summit Global, yung mga HR professionals, pag tinatanong ko sila, so ano yung mga concerns nyo? Tapos sabi nila, pag may reklamo yung mga empleyado, tumatakbo sa amin. Pagka may concerns sila, tumatakbo sa amin. Paano naman kami pag may concerns kami? Kanino kami tatakbo? So, because I'm so grateful to these HR people for hiring me and giving me business, I thought of a way to pay it forward. Kaya nag-create ako ng HR Summit Global. And because of the HR Summit Global, HR officers got to know about me and they invited me to give talks to their companies. So yun, see everything through the lens of gratitude.
Yeah, no? Pwede tayong mag-focus sa drama, no? Pero bakit pa if you can focus naman on the blessings behind the drama, right? So yes. We do. Let's remember that. Okay? So, eto naman, about change naman, no? Sabi nga nila, nothing is constant in life except change. So, yon. Many viewers are thinking about pivoting their business kasi merong mga nagsasabi na hindi okay yung negosyo ko o kaya gusto ko ganito na lang, gusto kong mag-change, mag-shift, etc. So, bago natin gawin yon, no? For you, Misha, since you have also pivoted a lot, I've been watching your year. So, ano yung mga important questions na dapat nating itanong sa ating sarili bago tayo mag-pivot sa ating mga direksyon na ating mga negosyo?
Okay, so very important before mag-pivot is to look for someone who has already done what you're planning to do. So, sino yung nakapag-pivot na pwede mong i-model or pwede mong i-peg? And then, talk to that person and ask that person, ano yung mga highs and lows? Ano yung mga na-enjoy mo dito? Ano yung mga struggles? Ano yung mga concerns? And then, so, i-share niya ano yung mga struggles, ano yung mga highs and lows, and then ask yourself, am I ready for this kind of lifestyle? Am I ready in terms of yung character? Na-build na ba for that? Ready ko na ba for that kind of possible success? Ready ka na ba for those possible failures? And then next would be, kung alam mo na ready ka na, the next question would be, who can help me? Who can mentor me? Who can guide me? And then if there are paid online courses or paid coaching, go for it. Wag lang, yung sinasabi natin na, okay, maraming tao na sana may ganitong free or whatever. Okay yung free. Ang nakikita ko is that kung meron ka talagang skin in the game, kung meron kang skin in the game kasi meron kang taya, mas magpupursige ka. So gusto ko pa yung sinabi niyo kanina, Mami, and introduction na madami na kayong naging failures sa business before. Hindi nila kailangan daanan yung failures kasi pwede naman silang matuto na lang from your failures. Gawa na lang sila na ibang nilang failures. So there, ask someone who's already there, who's already where you want to go, and then tanungin kung ano yung mga highs and lows. And then tanungin paano nila ginawa yun.
Thank you. No? That's also humility, Misha. No? To be where you are already, yung stature mo in life, and still you are seeking mentors. You are seeking for people who can teach you, whom you can ask. No? So, kaya I hope na nanonood sa atin ngayon, if you see that even Misha has a lot of mentors. So, look for people who can mentor you. And, sabi nga ni Misha, be willing to pay. Kasi hindi naman expense yan eh. Hindi naman yan gastos. Kasi kung ano yung binayaran natin, babalik yan sa atin at least 10 times. Hindi na natin pagdadaanan yung mga pagkakamali at we learn the lessons right away. Yeah.
Yes. Just be very careful kung saan mag-invest kasi may ibang mga nasa-scam din, ganun. So, look for the character of that person. So, character, competence, and then care. So, character, sino ba tong person na to? Pag magtuturo, for example, siya ng, let's say, how to be successful in business, maayos ba yung pakikitungo niya sa mga tao? And then, competence, magaling ba talaga siya sa business niya? And then, care, meron ba siyang malasakit? So, care yung malasakit. And nakikita ko po yung tatlong C's na kay Mami N. So, pagdating sa business, if you want to get mentor, pagdating sa business, go for someone na napagdaanan na talaga yung pagiging actual entrepreneur. So, yun po.
Yeah, thank you so much, no? Totoo yung sinabi mo, Misha. I see a lot of people talking about business, pero pag tinanong ko kung anong business, kasi I would ask them yung syempre, before I was looking for mentors as well, no? So, they will teach me this and that, and I ask always for results. So, that's one thing that you can do. Ask for results, and then, yung mga reviews are very important. Talk to the people who are reviewing to find out kung ano yung totoong nagawa na nila. Hindi yung kung ano lang yung marketing, ano lang yung mga hype na ginagawa nila. Diba? Maraming ganun ngayon. All right. So this would be my last question to you, Misha. No? So ang dami nyo ng successful na ventures from book writing to public speaking, etc. No? And now you are Global Summit. Now you are well sought after speaker, also a motivational speaker. And you're still writing books, by the way. And so paano nyo na-maintain yung connection ninyo sa why? Sa why ninyo, lalo na pag meron kayong challenges sa business.
Yeah. So I do a lot of self-reflections. Nagre-reflect po ako every day and I pray every morning. So, yung meron akong morning routine na yung probably first hour of my morning, kami lang ni God yun. So, nagbabasa ako ng devotional, tapos nagsusulat ako sa journal, self-care journal. And then, I listen to this podcast called 10 Minutes with Jesus. So, basically, reflection siya sa gospel for the day. At the end of the day, alam ko na, why am I doing what I'm doing? At the end of the day, I'm doing it because I want to glorify God. Ganon. Parang I want to do His will. And then sa gabi naman, bago ako matulog, nagre-reflect din ako. And even during, kasi nagsusulat ako sa journal. And even during the day, ang dami kong time to reflect. I think luxury to for me kasi single ako and then wala pa naman akong asawa at anak. So, ang dami ko talagang time. Ang isang nakita ko is very important talaga to be connected with the source, with God. Kasi ang dami-dami niyang nakikita na hindi mo nakikita. So, one specific story, September 2019, nagising ako at yung narinig ko sa prayer ko was, siya, i-close mo na yung physical office niyo sa Wakwak Mandaluyong, Wakwak Twin Towers. Tapos parang, bakit God? Productive kami doon. Ang lapit-lapit lang sa condo, ganun. Ba't ko kailangan i-close? So, sobrang clear sa akin, i-close mo na. Ganon. Wala akong logical reason bakit siya kailangan i-close. Basta clear lang ako na alam ko narinig ko siya sa prayer ko. And alam ko na galing kay God yung message. So, natapos yung kontrata namin ng February 28, 2020. So, sinabihan ko na yung landlord na hindi na kami magre-renew ng contract. And starting March 1, 2020, nag-pivot na kami to working from home full-time. Lahat kami nag-work from home full-time. Guess what happened on March 15, 2020? The global pandemic happened. Work from home yung mga tao. So parang, oh my God, 15 days na kami naka-prepare for the pandemic. Imagine kung nag-renew ako ng lease. Kasi bakit ako makikinig, God? Walang logical reason ba't ko i-close yung office. What if hindi ako nakikinig sa prayer? What if ginawa ko lang kung anong gusto ko dahil wala akong time to reflect? Imagine yung 1 year na babayaran mo pa rin yung rent. And then, ang hirap mag-pivot. Wala kayo sa mindset na yun na mag-pivot. So, yun. I'm so grateful for my daily prayer and then yung reflections. Kasi if you make time to be silent, maririnig mo talaga yung boses ni God.
Thank you for that, Misha. No? So, make time to be silent. I've been talking to a lot of successful people and all of them have a morning routine. And it includes prayer time and it includes meditation. So, mga anak na nanonood, no, please take note that we really need to connect with our source if we want to be successful, if we want to be guided sa ating business. Okay, so let's now go to the questions kasi mukhang maraming questions dito sa chat. Sabi ni Ria, I used to be a corporate onboarding and sales trainer. However, I just got laid off 2 weeks ago and I feel that God is leading me to a bigger purpose of teaching and sharing my experiences to people. So how can I avoid crying when I speak about my experiences and my faith?
Okay, ang ganda po ng tanong. Hindi ko magagaranti talaga na hindi mo maiwasang umiyak. Kasi ako, kanina nang share ko yung story about the pandemic, naiyak din ako. Siguro mas kontrolado ko na lang ngayon ang emotions ko. So, matututunan mo yan as you go along. Alam mo na baka pag sinabi ko to, iiyak ako sa part na to. Tapos, pag feeling mo iiyak ka sa part na yun, meron kang strategy paano ka mag-bounce back. Kasi pag umiyak ka na lang, umiyak na rin yung audience mo. Tapos paano na, di ba? Paano na yung talk? Naalala ko dati nung nagbigay ako ng TEDx talk. So, nasa green room ako. And then 10 minutes before the event, umiyak talaga ako dun sa isang part. May isa dun na sobrang iyak ako ng iyak na, oh my gosh, anong gagawin ko pag umiyak ako? So, sinabihan ko yung 4 na guests ko na kaibigan ko. Sabi ko na, dito sa part na to, baka iiyak ako. Pag umiyak ako, pwede ba kayong pumalakpak? Ganun lang kayo para ma-disrupt yung emotions ko. Tapos maka-bounce back ako. So, yun ang naging strategy ko.
Yeah, so think of a strategy. Kung anong strategy, kanya-kanya na lang yan. Okay, I hope, Ria, that answered your question. So yan, this is from Facebook, Moshby Olsha. Paano po mag-set ng boundaries? Parang ang hirap lalo na di po ganun ka-stable ang business. Yun nga pong kadalasang nakakaramdam ng guilt pag nag-rest. Pero sarap mag-rest, hehe.
Yes, so normal talaga tayo nakakaramdam ng guilt. So isipin mo, sino yung pinaka-importanteng asset ng business? Sino yung pinaka-importanteng asset ng business mo? If you are the business owner, the founder, the CEO, ikaw yung pinaka-importanteng asset ng business mo. Kung hindi mo ipapahinga ang pinaka-importanteng asset ng business mo at na-overuse mo siya at napagod siya at nagkasakit siya, paano na yung business mo? Diba? So yun yung reason kaya kailangan magpahinga. And also, kasi pag na-overuse mo yung sarili mo, yung utak mo, hindi na siya as productive, hindi na siya as creative. So kailangan talaga ng mind space para magbigay ka ng room sa mind mo to be more creative. And sa line ng business, isang idea can catapult your business to the next level. But how can you reach that particular idea? It's when you allow yourself enough time to rest. So start small muna. Kung hindi pa kaya na 2 days a week yung rest, how about 1 day a week? 1 day a week to rest. Or kung usually natutulog ka ng 10 p.m., how about, kasi nag-work ka until 10 p.m., how about until 9 p.m. lang yung work? And then yung 9 to 10, pahinga lang. Walang mo ng social media. Kung ano yung pinaka nagbibigay sa'yo ng joy, yun yung gagawin mo. So yun, start small.
Yeah, no? So start small, no? Wag bibiglain yung rest na as in hindi ka napapasok the whole day. Just start mga 5 minutes lang na cat nap tapos dahan-dahan. Okay, this is from our friend Janice. Sabi niya, what did you do siya to move on from those who betrayed and scammed you?
Okay, so ganda nitong tanong. So this was many years ago nung na-scam ako at na-betray ako. Ang ginawa ko, sinunod ko lang yung payo ni Brother Bo at that time. Kasi during the time na na-scam ako, big time, nag-release din siya ng mga messages on how to deal with scam. So sabi niya, I forgive this person. So yun yung isang gagawin. I forgive myself, I forgive this person. Kasi pag na-scam ka, sa 2 tao ka talaga galit. Minsan, ang alam lang natin, galit tayo dun sa nang-scam sa atin. Pero actually, galit pala tayo sa sarili natin because we allowed that person to scam us. So, very important yung forgiveness. So, I remember nung na-scam ako at galit na galit ako dun sa taong yun. Pag iniisip ko siya, umaakyat yung dugo ko sa ulo ko, tapos umiiyak na lang ako sa sobrang galit. And then during those times na umiiyak ako, sinasabi ko, Lord, I forgive this person, bless this person. I felt like a hypocrite saying those. Pero, God, ayoko, galit ako sa kanya, pero I forgive this person. Teach me to forgive this person and help me wish the best for this person. So, yun ang ginagawa ko. And actually, whatever you wish for other people comes back to you. So, I wish forgiveness for that person. I wished him well. Sana maging okay yung business niya, maging okay yung family niya, maging okay yung health niya. Ganon na parang, bakit ka ipag-pray ng ganon, diba? Pero just trust the process. Kasi, pag ginagawa mo yun, ewan ko, napaka-magical talaga nun. Na when you do your best to forgive other people, kahit mahirap, ang daming unburden sa'yo. So, yun yung isa, forgiveness. The other one is, rechannel your energy. Kasi pag galit ka, energy yun eh. So, ang dami mong energy energy. So rechannel it. Saan mo kaya pwedeng gamitin yung galit mo, yung energy na yun? So during that time, ni-rechannel ko siya sa pagsusulat ng madaming libro kasi dami ko energy. So instead na magalit ako, makipag-usap ako sa mga kaibigan ko at pag-usapan namin tong taong to na galit ako, ginawa ko na lang, nagsulat na lang ako ng libro. Dito ko i-release, ganun. Na-release ko dun sa pagsusulat ng libro. So ni-rechannel ko lang yung energy. And now when I think about it, wala na talaga emotional charge. Wala nang bearing sa akin yung mga taong yun. So, I would say na may malaking part sila na na-unlock sa akin at yun yung trust meter. So, before wala akong ganun, I see everyone as good people. And dahil na-scam ako 3 beses in a row, tatlong beses, one after the other, nagkaroon ako ng trust meter. Na pag makita ko ba lang yung tao, kahit wala akong information about that person, mag-gauge ko if this person is trustworthy or not.
So, yun yung naging blessing.
Yun yung naging blessing.
For being scammed 3 beses in a row. Wow! So, Janice, I hope that answered your question. Okay, sabi ni Janice din, forever grateful daw siya sa iyo. Dahil you are one of her best mentors. Sabi niya, she helped me identify my life purpose statement. She opened opportunities for me to become a Toastmaster and a BNI member, author, and coach. Sabi niya, you can never go wrong if you follow her steps. Thank you siya. Yan, public expression of gratitude ni Janice to you. Yan. Okay, as an entrepreneur, kailangan ng 3 C's. Pero bakit pag hiring employees, it's only about attitude versus skills?
Okay, actually sa pag-hire din ng employees, mas importante talaga yung attitude over skills, pero importante din yung skills. Depende kung ano yung work na i-hire mo yung tao. Kasi minsan din, pagka napunta sa maling role yung tao, hindi siya magta-thrive doon. So for example, meron akong team member na magaling siya sa arts. Magaling siya sa creatives, magaling sa arts, ganyan. Meron din akong team member before na magaling naman siya pagdating sa, mahilig siya magbasa, mahilig siya magsulat, ganun. Pag pinag-swap ko silang dalawa ng role, pareho silang mahirapan. Pero dahil nasa tamang roles silang dalawa, nagta-thrive sila doon sa role na yun. So, importante yung attitude and then yung skills din. Although, mas important yung attitude over skills. The other thing is that in this day and age, ang bilis magbago ng business landscape. So, isa sa mga napakagandang qualities na kailangan meron ka as an employee or even a business owner is flexibility. Flexibility and upskilling din. So, kailangan willing ka to upskill yourself. Kasi kung mag-change yung business landscape, baka yung role mo hindi na siya relevant sa business. Kung hindi na siya relevant sa business, anong gagawin? 'Di ba? Kung ikaw yung business owner, anong gagawin mo sa mga... Kaya may mga layoffs na nangyayari sa mga companies, may mga nare-redundant kasi hindi na relevant yung role nila dun sa direction ng business. So kung ikaw yung employee na hindi na relevant yung role mo, ititingnan mo, ano kayang kailangan ng business? Paano ko kaya ipipivot yung skills ko para ma-serve yung needs ng business?
Yan. Sana nakatulong. So, yon. Okay. So, we are running out of time, no? So, Misha, ang dami nating insights and learning na tanggap sa iyo. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. But before we end, no, meron ka bang mga final words of wisdom for our viewers? Marami pa actually tanong, pero sorry, hanggang 4 lang tayo ngayon. So, sige, Misha.
Okay. Thank you, Mami. And actually, we can stand up to maybe 4:05 or 4:10 kung meron pa. So, final words sa mga nakikinig is to keep learning and growing. And also to be very conscious about who you follow. Kasi who you follow can make or break you. So, very important to look at the character of that person. Character, competence, and care. Hindi lang importante yung character, hindi lang importante yung competence, pero yung care, very important. Does he really care about me? Or does he only care about his own business, his own family, his own friends? May pakialam ba siya sa akin? May malasakit ba siya sa akin? So, yun. So, don't just follow anybody and don't just allow anyone to speak to you kasi maapektuhan ka talaga, ma-influence ka talaga. So, piliin talaga kung sino yung i-follow mo.
Okay. So, yun yung mga words of wisdom, no? And so, Misha, it's an honor to have you here. And I'm sure yung audience natin ay interesadong to be able to follow you, to learn from you, no? And also, eto pala, no? How do we connect with you, Misha? I see it already here, yung www.mishanasino.com. Is that how they can connect with you, Misha?
Yes, opo. So, you may go to my website, shanasino.com. Andun na rin po yung way din to get in touch with me through my socials and then to join my newsletter as well. And meron po sana akong request sa mga nandito ngayon. So, if you can share a brief testimonial or words for me dito po sa page na to, ilalagay ko po dito sa link. So, if you may take maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds to write something para makita ko pa po how I can serve other people and mas spread pa po natin yung message. Thank you.
Yeah, the link is there, no? Andyan yung link. Tsaka yung, so it's https://shanasino.com//review. Or merong QR code sa screen natin. Okay. So, thank you very much, Miss Sha. Ang daming mga takeaways. So, para sa ating mga viewers, salamat sa panonood. And remember to also sign up for our free newsletter and starter kit sa maminegosyo.com as well as sa newsletter din ni Miss Sha. Ako, I am avid follower of her newsletter. So, if you found this session valuable, join us again this coming Tuesday. We'll have another Facebook Live episode about protecting your business with simple insurance tips. No? Hindi lahat ng insurance ay created equal. So let us learn from the sister of my friend, Chinky Tan. Yung kapatid niya, his only sister. She's none other than Miss Lisette Tan Bamba. Puro babae ang ating mga guests this March kasi this is the Women's Month. So maraming salamat sa iyo, Miss Sha. No?
Thank you, Mami Ann.
Honor to have you here and to learn from you. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. And for those who would want to join us next week, join us. Bye. Okay, so thank you sa lahat. Thank you.